Bangani, welcome back to Zulu Lessons with me, Thando, the place for modern, conversational Zulu language lessons. Ngani, the song that I am bringing to you and wanting to teach you today is entitled Ngaphandle Kokuthi by Thinah Zungu featuring Ntanzi. It is sung with Spirit of Praise, and I believe it's on the Spirit of Praise 7 album. You can find it in iTunes and I believe on Spotify as well. But I'll also link the YouTube video of the song. That link, I'll post it in the description box below. Ngani, this song is so beautiful. Yes, it is a Christian song, but why am I teaching you a Christian song? I'm not trying to preach to you, for sure. Not trying to preach to you, but it's a song that I love greatly. And so, since I resonate with it, I felt that I can then do justice in talking about it. And I'm choosing a song, and I'm always using music a lot to teach language because it helps us to acquire language. So we acquire vocabulary and we get to use that vocabulary. So Ngani, just listen to the chorus of the song that you'll be hearing mostly, of course, the chorus. Ngaphandle Kokuthi wenu inkosi, ngaphandle Kokuthi wenu ngumdali, ngithola ukuthi kuyisizathu nanoma nje ngiyaphila. So I'll leave it there because I'm not a singer, but I just want you to follow along with the song, and then you can learn the lyrics and learn how to pronounce them, each and every line correctly. And then you can enjoy singing along every time. And once you get used to singing the song, you'll find it's so much easier now to then make other sentences and phrases that are similar to the one in the song. Ngani, most of the song is in second person. The writer is talking to God directly. It is such a beautiful song. I can relate to the writer's experience. Ngani, have you ever found yourself in a place where you are questioning God, where you are doubting God, where you are doubting that God exists or that He says who He says He is? Where maybe you are finding yourself wondering, does He see you? Does God see me? Is He really El Roy? The writer of this song must have found herself or himself in that pit of nothingness. She or he says to God, I'm trying to figure out why I should worship you. Ngicinga isizathu sokukukhonza. You see, Mngani, she or he knows that humans are created to worship God, but she or he is just failing to see why, because when he or she looks around in his or her life, there is no reason to worship God. All is falling apart, or has fallen apart, save for the writer's life itself. So the writer of the song says she's searching for or looking for the reason to worship God. She or he knows and acknowledges that God is God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. The writer says when he or she was searching and looking for that reason to worship God, looking hard, because where she or he is right now, God isn't showing up. Then, right then, she or he realizes, hey, I'm alive, I'm breathing. Just the mere fact that he or she is alive is reason enough to worship God. Ngithola ukuthi kuyisizathu nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Mngani, all may be falling apart, but you still have breath in you. That means there is still hope. There is hope yet, mngani wami. Don't give up. Turn to God right now and say, for the mere fact that I am alive, I will worship you. Ngaso nje lesizathu sokuthi ngiyaphila, ngizokukhonza. Bambelela mngani. Hold on, friend. It's not over. It's not the end. Now, let's go through each line of the song together so you can learn to pronounce it correctly. I will write the English translation on the screen. And of course, it will be on the notes of this lesson that you can find on ZuluLessons.com, my website. When you sign up to receive my newsletters and notes and whatever it is that I want to share with you at the time, I promise it's not junk. So sign up for my email list. I already said almost the whole song is in second person. You. The singer is talking to God directly. Towards the end of the song, Ntanzi talks about God. So in third person, he's talking to us now about God, telling of the great things God has done. Make sure you repeat each line after me. Pause the video if you need to and say each line out loud. Then listen to me again to hear if you are saying the same thing that I'm saying. Really, what I'm saying to you is copy me, mimic me. At the very end of the notes, you will find the lyrics of the song that have complete or full words. But as we sing the song now, we will go through it in spoken language. When we speak, usually the last vowel of a word is dropped if the next word starts with a vowel. Look at this line. Ngisizathu sokukukhonza. That first line of the song. Look at that very first word. Ngicing. There's a vowel missing there. We don't end words with consonants in isiZulu. So there's a vowel missing there. That vowel, of course, is a. Ngicinga. Isizathu sokukukhonza. I am searching for, I am looking for a reason or the reason to worship you. That is how we speak. You will hardly hear the last vowel of a word if the next word starts with a vowel when people speak. But as I said, in the notes, the very last part of the notes is actually where now you will see all those full, complete words, which will then help you when you are looking words up in the dictionary and trying to piece things through to make your own sentences that are similar. Now, let's get through this song, mngani. Ngicinga isizathu sokukukhonza. Repeat that after me, mngani. Ngicinga isizathu sokukukhonza. Lese sahlula basemandulo. Did you hear how that sounded like a whole mouthful? So we are going to break it up. Les esahlul abasemandulo. But you hear it as though it was just one longish word. So say it slowly when you say it. Don't say les esahlul abasemandulo. Say lese sahlula basemandulo, so that you are able to say each and every syllable that's there. Now repeat after me, mngani. Sebencamela ukukubethela. They resorted to, they then preferred or just chose to nail you to the cross. Sebencamela, right? Ukukubethela. Baphonsa emthini wehlazo. Look at this line, guys. This line has an apostrophe in the middle of a phrase. Here we are saying bakuphonsa. They threw you. Emthini wehlazo. Something, ihlazo is something shameful, something taboo. So, and of course, emthini, umuthi is a plant, a tree, a flower, any type of plant, a shrub, any type of plant. So, when we are saying bakuphonsa emthini wehlazo, we are saying they then threw you and nailed you to that shameful tree, the cross. So, let's repeat this, mngani. So, that K there is really the you in this line, the object concord, who we are talking about. Bakuphonsa, that ku being Jesus. Bakuphonsa emthini wehlazo. But when we speak, you hardly hear that you that goes with the ku. For example, if I say to my husband, I love you, ngiyakuthanda. Do you hear that? You hear everything else, but you don't hear that u. Ngiyakuthanda is what I said. Ngiyakuthanda, I love you. But you don't hear the u. And that's how it is with a lot of phrases when you're using the object concord ku, and also mu, which is third person, him or her. So if I was saying ngiyamuthanda as in I love him, then I would say ngiyamthanda. Do you hear? It's just mtha. Now let's say that phrase, mngani. Bakuphonsa emthini wehlazo. Then we come to the chorus. Ngaphandle kokuthi. Ngaphandle kokuthi. So, ngaphandle, when you're saying ngaphandle, depending on, of course, context, what are we talking about right now? If I say, imoto ngaphandle, the car is outside, right? But if I say, ngaphandle kwento eyiningi, into engiyishoyo nje kuwena ukuthi. So besides lots of other things, what I'm saying to you is, I stopped right there, that ngaphandle is then besides or except. So, ngaphandle kokuthi wena uyinkosi. Apart from the fact that you are God, or apart from that you are God, except that you are God, besides that you are God. Now, repeat it after me, mngani. Ngaphandle kokuthi. Wena uyinkosi. You are God. Wena uyinkosi. That when, of course, is wena, you. Now, wena uyinkosi, you are God. Repeat that after me, mngani. Very good, mngani. That wena uyinkosi, uyinkosi. Here we are taking a noun and we are saying you are this. If I was wanting to say to you that you are a child of course is ingane, I would say uyingane, you are a child. Or if I wanted to use the word umntwana, which is another word for a child, we'll then say umntwana, you are a child. So here it's you are God, uyinkosi. So repeat that after me, mngani. Wena uyinkosi. Ngaphandle kokuthi wena ungumdali, except that you are the creator, or besides the fact that you are the creator, apart from the fact that you are the creator, wena ungumdali. Umdali is the creator. Now repeat after me, mngani. We've learned this first part of it, ngaphandle kokuthi, so let's say the whole thing now. Ngaphandle kokuthi wena ungumdali. The next line is ngitholukuthi. Ngitholukuthi. Repeat that after me. Ngitholukuthi. We are saying, I found that, or I discovered that. That is ukuthi. Ukuthi simply just means that. So, ngitholukuthi. Repeat that after me, mngani. Nguwisizathu. That's the next line. Nguwisizathu. You are the reason. Nguwisizathu. Nguwe. You. Isizathu. Isizathu is the reason. Nguwisizathu. Repeat that after me. Nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Mngani, this nanoma, I want you to get it. We've got two parts here of that phrase, nanoma. We've got na and noma. Noma, you can use it to say or, but you can also use it in a way to say though. You know, so here, this nanoma, we are saying that for the fact that, or even that, that is what it is when it is now nanoma. So even that. And nje is simply just. So simply that, just. So even just that, I am alive. Nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Repeat that after me, mngani. Now we move on to the second stanza of this song. Lilo qothulayo themba labendulo. Umlilo. Umlilo is a fire. Umlilo. Oqothulayo. We're talking about a consuming fire. So Ayanda is talking directly to God as he sings, and he says, Mlilo qothulayo, consuming fire. Repeat that after me, mngani. Mlilo qothulayo. The next line is themba labendulo. Themba labendulo. Ithemba is a hope. Labendulo. Now here we've got a possessive pronoun, that la. So hope of, and then now we hear who these we are speaking of, whose hope this is. Abendulo, the people of old, the ancients, the people of old. So your ancestors, or in this particular case, we could be saying the people in the Bible times when Jesus was crucified. So let's repeat that line, mngani. Themba labendulo. Mngani, I want us to look at these two lines quickly. Mlilo qothulayo, themba labendulo. Umlilo is a noun, and of course nouns start with a vowel. Umlilo, a fire. Ithemba is a noun, a hope. Ithemba. But here we don't have those vowels as prefixes to these two nouns. The reason being, these nouns are being used to talk to God, to call God, this very thing that we are talking about. We are saying consuming fire. So that's the name that we are calling God at that time. Mlilo qothulayo. So when we then talk to God, we won't say uNkulunkulu sawubona. Hello God. We wouldn't say sawubona uJesu. We wouldn't say ngikhuluma nawe uJesu. No, we don't use that first vowel of the noun when we are talking directly to whoever it is that we are talking to. So for example, if you're talking to me, you wouldn't wouldn't say sawubona uthando. You would say sawubona Thando. Don't put that first vowel of the noun, my name, uthando, when you're talking to me. When you're talking about me, I hope you'll be talking good things about me, but when you're talking about me, then yes, of course you can, but not when you're talking to the person directly. So the next line here, we are still continuing with Ayanda Ntanzi singing and talking, of course, directly to God. And he says, Sinkwa sokuphila. Isinkwa is bread. Sokuphila, the bread of life. Repeat that after me, mngani. Sinkwa sokuphila.
Mngani, I can improve your language skills in isiZulu, but one thing I cannot do is improve this channel without your help. Please subscribe.
The next one is libo lokuqala. Ilibo. Ilibo is the firstborn. So here he is saying ilibo lokuqala, the firstborn of all the firstborns that ever were. Ilibo lokuqala. So now, of course, he's talking directly to God. And so he says, libo lokuqala. So, the first of the firstborns. Repeat that after me, mngani. Libo lokuqala. Then the next line. Kuwe utholakala amazwi okuphila. In you we find the words of life. If you're not hearing very well to the song, you might also think he is saying amanzi okuphila, which is the water of life. So anyway, he's saying amazwi okuphila. So repeat this sentence, mngani. Kuwe kutholakala. Kuwe is in you, not you, but in you. Kutholakala is where we find, is where it is found. And what is this that is found there in God? Amazwi okuphila. Amazwi okuphila. Ngani, it's hot. Liyashisa izulu. And so I'm really steaming up. I hope you can see that in my classes. Don't laugh. So, so then the next line is amazwi okuphila. Amazwi, of course, we said words. Okuphila, of life. You can see there that phila, which is the verb to live. So, ukuphila being a gerund, a verbal noun, which is living, life itself. Ukuphila. Repeat that after me, mngani. Amazwi okuphila. Then the next line is Ingakho manje thina siyaphila. Ingakho. That is why. It is why. Manje. Now. Thina. We. Siyaphila. Are alive. We live, or we have life. That is the reason why we have life. Consuming fire, the firstborn of firstborns, bread of life. In you, we find the words of life. That is why we are living. That is why we are alive. So let's go through those lines. Repeat them after me, mngani. Yingakho manje. Thina siyaphila. He repeats the very same stanza, but I want to mention it now again. I didn't mention Thinah Zungu's one when he repeated it, at the beginning there, but this one I have to, because he has changed the first line of this stanza and he changed the last two lines. So let's go through it now. Ungumlilo qothulayo, ungumlilo, you are a fire. If we just look at ungumlilo alone, you are a fire. Ungu. If I was saying who you are, I would say unguntombi. In modern spoken language, you hear a lot of untombi. So that is what you will hear. Instead of the ng, the ng, you would hear w. So it's still the same thing. You are ntombi. Now here, let's finish this here, because the whole name here is consuming fire. So he is saying, ungumlilo qothulayo, you are a consuming fire. Themba labendulo, we've said that one already. So let's just repeat. Ungumlilo qothulayo. Ungumlilo qothulayo. Then, Ngani, at the end of the stanza, those last two lines have changed a little bit as well. He says, yingakho esinakho sekuyachichima. He's gone on and on, praising God, worshiping God, and in isiZulu I would say, uthakazelela uNkulunkulu. You know, when you are saying the person's praise name. So he's gone on and said that you are consuming fire. Themba labendulo, the hope of the ancients. Sinkwa sokuphila, bread of life. Libo lokuqala, the first of the firstborns. Kuwe kutholakala amazwi okuphila. In you, the word of life is found. Now he says, that is why what we have is overflowing. Yingakho esinakho sekuyachichima. Isn't that the promise, friend? Isn't that the promise God makes to us? That he will bless us till we have not enough room to contain the blessings. So, indebe yami iyachichima, as David says in the Psalms. So anyway, let's say this part now, ngane. Repeat after me. Yingakho esinakho. Sekuyachichima. sekuyachichima. The verb chichima is to overflow. Think about when you are boiling water on the stove and it starts to boil over, overflow. Yachichima. Think about when you've got a cup maybe and you're pouring juice or water or whatever and you're pouring it and it starts to overflow. That's what we are talking about. It's overflowing. So it's not just sitting up there almost overflowing. No, it's overflowing. So let's repeat that phrase, Mungani. Sekuyachichima. Then, of course, we go back to the chorus. Ngani, this chorus, sure, it just sums it all up. Ngaphandle kokuthi wena uyinkosi, ngaphandle kokuthi wena uyinkosi, ngaphandle kokuthi wena ungumdali, ngithola ukuthi kuwisizathu nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Mngani. Remember, the writer of the song is saying, I am searching for a reason to worship you. The very thing that tripped and the ancient had a difficult time with, and they ended up resorting to nail you to the cross. I'm trying to find the reason to worship you. Then now he or she comes to this realization that wait. Apart for, except that, or besides that, you are God. Because, someone could say, he is God. That's why you worship him. But, except that, apart for that, you are the creator. Because someone might also argue that you just worship. What do you mean you're searching for the reason to worship God? He is the creator. That's enough. But the writer says, no. Even besides that fact that you are the creator. As I was searching, in my search, I discovered that, wait, I am alive. You are the reason that I am alive. So I have enough reason to worship you. So it sums it all up. Ngani. Now the next part of the song, which is the last part of the song, really we could skip it because it's not the crux of the song. But I do always like for people to know what is being said, So the singers, of course, you've got the Spirit of Praise singers at the back and on the sides. You've also got Thinah Zungu and Ntanzi. They are busy singing together, this one and then this one and then together, blah blah blah. But let's try and go through what each person is saying. Ntanzi says, Nguye yedwa ekuqaleni, Nguye yedwa ekuqaleni. He is the only one at the beginning. Singayaphi uma singasuka kuye? Where could we go if we move away from him? Where would we go? I have no idea, because away from him is nothingness. And then he says, yebo, siphila nje uyena. Yes, we are alive. It's him. Sihamba nje nguyena. We are walking. It is him. Mngani, let's go through that so you can repeat it after me. Nguye yedwa ekuqaleni. Nguye yedwa ekuqaleni. The question word here is P, which is where. Of course, that I at the end of that PH is not there. So, singayaphi uma singasuka kuye ke manje. Now, here we are. Repeat after me. Singayaphuma. Singayaphuma. Singasuka kuye. Then he says, ke manjena. Singasuka kuye manje ke. Those very last parts of that line, we could say they are redundant, that they are not necessary, but they do enrich language. But you can say the whole thing he's just said without saying them. It's good, because then he says, uma singasuka kuye ke, from him then. Manje, now, na. Emphasizing the question that he is asking you, a question that na is an emphasis to the question that he's asking you. If you have not watched the lessons on questions in isiZulu, I will link them in the description box. Now, that ke manje na is not necessary. It would still be a question and it will still be complete without it, but it adds meat to the sentence. So kuye ke, from him then, manje, now, and then of course the question word na. Let's repeat that. Kuye ke, manje, na. I wanted you to say each and every one separately so that you keep in mind that it is separate. Kuye ke goes together, manje, and then na. Then the next line mngani is yebo, siphila nje nguyena. Yebo, of course, is yes. Siphila nje, we are alive. Or as you can see, we are alive. It's him. Nguyena. It is him. Repeat that after me. Yebo, siphila nje nguyena. Sihamba nje nguyena. We are walking, as you can see that we are walking. Nguyena. It is him. Repeat that after me, mngani. Sihamba nje nguyena. So Ayanda is now no longer talking to God. He is now talking directly to you and I, or whoever else was in that concert or show. And then Thina responds as well and says ngaphandle, and then says wena wedwa. Ngaphandle, of course, we've learned that in this context we are saying apart for, except that, besides that. And then wena wedwa, you alone. Why is he saying that? Listen to the song so you can follow. Listen to the song so you can follow where he's saying it, and then you'll get why he's saying that. Now, and then together, they come together and say ngaphandle, besides, as the Spirit of Praise choir is singing the chorus. Ayanda then says, Konke kwavela ngaye. Konke kwavela ngaye. All came through him. All, konke. Konke, it's just simply all. Everything. Oh yeah, there's a song that you would find all over YouTube that uses the word, that has the word konke. Konke, Okungaphakathi Kwam, okuhle, Okungaphakathi Kwam. Very, very beautiful song. I'm going to link it in the description box. It's such a beautiful song. So, konke kwavela ngaye. Vela is to come. It's to come forth, to appear. So, kwavela ngaye, all appeared through him. Repeat that after me, mngani. Konke kwavela ngaye. Konke kungezwi lakhe. So all is through his voice. Konke kungezwi lakhe. Repeat that after me, mngani. Konke kungezwi lakhe. Then Thina says, towards the end of the chorus, there's the Spirit of Praise singers are singing. Then he says, nanoma nje ngiyaphila. Then Ayanda continues. He says, njalo uma sibheke emuva siyamangala. Njalo is always, every time. Uma of course is if or when. Sibheka emuva, we look back. Siyamangala, we are amazed. Ukumangala is to be amazed. So, njalo uma sibheka emuva siyamangala. Repeat that after me, mngani. Njalo uma sibheka emuva siyamangala. Yingakho simbabaza. Oh mngani, that is why we glorify him. The word babaza is to exclaim. So when he is saying yingakho simbabaza, we are exclaiming because of the wonders that he has done. Yingakho simbabaza. That M, we have an apostrophe there. There should be a U, but we don't say it much in spoken language, like I made an example to you in the beginning. So, yingakho simbabaza. Repeat that, mngani. Then he says, yena wenzile umhlaba. Yena wenzile umhlaba. He's not saying he created the earth. He's not using the word create. He's using the word make, to make. So he made the earth. Yena, so he made the earth. Repeat after me, mngani. Yena wenzile umhlaba. The next one is yena wenzile umuntu. Again, he's using the verb enza, which is to make, not to create, but to make. I just want you to find the difference between the two, because to create is dala, to make is enza. So, yena wenzile umuntu. He made the human, the person. Repeat that after me, mngani. Yena wenzile umuntu. Ngomfanekiso. Ngomfanekiso. That word, umfanekiso, is a likeness. If I show you something and I say, I want something that looks like this. So this then would be umfanekiso, your example, right? So you want something that is similar. So here we are saying, ngomfanekiso, God created the person, ngomfanekiso, he made the person in his likeness. Now repeat that after me, mngani. Ngomfanekiso. The next one is wamfakukuphila. 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 Of course, you see that apostrophe there again. That M. It's telling you we have a U there that we are not saying. So the object concord, mu, which is he or she. So he put in him life. Who is this him that we are talking about? We are talking about the person that, the first person that God created, of course. And so also we're talking about ourselves. So, wamfakukuphila. Faka is to put in. So, wamfakukuphila. Repeat that to me. Repeat that after me, mngani. Wamfakukuphila. Then the last line there, mngani, is wamphefumulela. Yes, that M is the object concord mu. Ukuphefumula, mngani, is to breathe. But now, ukuphefumulela is to breathe on to another. So think about CPR in this case, for example. To breathe on to another person, to give them breath so they can breathe, right? Fine. Now, we are talking about creation. We are talking about God creating us, creating humans. And so he says, wamphefumulela. that lela, so he is now God is not just breathing, but he's now breathing for another. So breathing to another, breathing to the person that he is creating, that he has created, because he's saying, well, wenzile umhlaba, wenzile umuntu ngomfanekiso, wamphefumulela, wamfaka ukuphila. That's it, really, Mngani. After that, they then continue singing the chorus of the song, which is Ngaphandle Kokuthi. Mngani, do go ahead and click that link in the description box to go to my website and sign up for my emailing list. That way you can receive notes from this lesson and other lessons that I have done and future lessons. Ngani, I hope you enjoyed this song as much as I did. It's such a beautiful song. But don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, Ngani. That helps me with YouTube, because then they see that people actually like what I do. And then they share it to even more people. That's how it works. And so I would like it to grow, of course. So please subscribe and like the video, and also share it with others. Ngiyabonga Mngani for spending this time with me. Sala kahle.